Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hey, William and Magus, how's it going? No, grayscale is not allowed on this stream. I don't know, maybe I'll do a black and white stream sometime just to change it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing well too. Just dropped my wife off at the airport. She's headed back home to your neck of the woods, Magus, to visit some family. She's really missed them with the whole lockdown pandemic situation, so hopefully she gets there safe and unill. Means a whole lot more Skyrim for me the next few weeks. Yep, I get the house to myself, which I'm not really sad about. I do already miss her a little bit. Don't tell her I said that, but it's gonna feel very empty in here for the next couple weeks. But maybe I can do some extra streaming or something to allay the quietness around here. Yeah, I don't think she's looking into, going out and hanging out with friends too much. She just wants to hunker down with her parents and her brothers. Yeah, mischief intended. Definitely not managed yet, but I will make full use of the space. How about that? We'll give things another minute or two. We'll get going on the hour, I think. Hi, Mr. B. Glad to have you. Sorry if my slurping drinking noises get a little obscene. I need a lot of the caffeinated beverage. This morning I had to get up early for the airport trip. Oh, the older stuff. Some vintage demorgue, huh? Yeah, I was watching the panel that Jessa hosted with a lot of our favorite creators on it, talking about how they how a lot of their older stuff they keep on the channel and they watch it to cringe. I kind of feel like the same way sometimes. Some of that stuff I was like, why did I put this on YouTube? But it's all a learning experience. Some of my favorite content is the Chemical Whispers series, where it was all very heavily edited and everything, but so much work. I do want to get back to that, especially for Balefish's character concept challenges. I got some stuff in mind for that. Maybe just 1 or 2 vignettes per character. You just learned how to make a playlist, huh? Oh, you told me not to tell anybody. So Magus has known how to make a playlist for a while, just in case anybody's watching this that thought that maybe Magus didn't know what he was doing. He's a playlist master. He taught me everything I know now about playlists. All right. Let's get into the game here. I know people aren't going to actually start showing up until I actually start playing, so let's start playing. So we're back with Jagasta this time. Some Moon Monk action coming at you. I had to put him on hiatus a little bit because I was getting very frequent crashes. Namely, as I would head east here along the White River, and then I would point west, I would crash every single time. It was so weird. I used fall rim tools to clean the save, along with some batch files I found on Nexus to kind of clean out some cells and everything. And that did mitigate a lot of the other crashes I was getting, but this one was super consistent. And bear with me for a minute here, as I just want to make sure that it's not going to crash while I'm streaming here. Get a streamer's curse thing going. Yeah, looks like we're all good here. So I would be able to start like up at that pine tree right there, face west toward the western watchtower there, and walk backwards. And as soon as I would get right about here where the meadery was, it would crash every single time. But that's fixed now. And I don't know if I would call it a fix, because basically I just started his game over and played up to the point where I left off in the last stream that I played with him. Working on your Skyrim build. Yeah, you've been playing Enderall for a while, haven't you, Mr. B? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually am looking forward to playing Enderall at some point. I have not yet. I've watched some Let's Plays of it and stuff. Looks great. Let's see, we have Balefish joined. Good to see you, Balefish. Glad you could make it. Strudel says good morning, or noonish. It's actually 10 a.m. where I am, so it fully qualifies as morning here. Hastor. So pretty much everybody in the chat is a mod now. That's good. I might have overdone it with the monkey wrench there, but that's okay. Yeah, so I think what did me in this time was I just added too many mods after I started playing with this character. This character started as a random character concept challenge using Skyrim Unbound. So I didn't really know where this character was going until I got started with him and played, you know, a good dozen hours or so. And then I started, you know, really adding some kind of consequential gameplay mods. And at some point, Dindalod broke, and I don't know what I did to break it. I probably changed something in the world space unexpectedly. I thought I had managed to fix that, but I guess some of those problems were lingering from that point. The more the merrier, yes. More mods the merrier. That's alliteration. Oh, that's okay, Bayofish. I'd rather have half of you here than none of you. Are we getting the Bayo half or the fish half is my question. I would rather have the Bayo half, you know, kind of like the mermaid situation. Would you rather have the top half or the bottom? Always go for the top half. Yeah, I did actually rerun Dindalod as well. Yeah, we'll definitely take the Bayo half. Yeah, I did run Dindalod as well. I did everything I could to fix the game, and it did mitigate some of the crashes that I was seeing, like just random crashes that were happening a lot just around the world. But the consistent ones stayed consistent. Okay, well, we can call you Fish if you're okay with that. I just want to make sure we're getting the actual physical Bayo, not the physical fish part of the Bayo fish. Oh, yeah, well, okay. So as you can see now, everything's running very smoothly, and I'm getting very dizzy. Sorry about that. But no crashes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the play, shall we? Well, last time we left off, Jagasta was coming from Markarth. And he had a bad experience with the corrupt government there. He got thrown in Sidna Mine. He had to fight his way out. By the way, when I replayed Sidna Mine and I tried to redo that fight, Magus, you were completely right. That is one of the hardest vanilla fights I have ever undertaken in this game. The meatery is a known world space issue. Interesting. Yeah, so when I tried to replay that fight again, I had a ton of issues in that Sidna Mine. I still wanted to go through and get all my leveling up and everything that I would have gotten from the original play. But man, that was tough. I think it just goes to show you just how random the nature of this ritual stone is, just depending on what it decides to resurrect for you and have fight on your side. It didn't give me much this time around. I think the last time when I played on stream, it was really pretty easy. Bound bow for Sidna Mine. Yeah. Well, I think light armor is a big part of this character, and obviously had all that taken away for that sequence. That would have helped a little bit, but being an unarmed sort of conjurer did help him out a little bit. It made it possible at least, but it was definitely really tough. How do you do Sidna Mine with a physical bow? I think they take everything away from you. Unless you're able to sneak out somehow and come back in. So yeah, he decided to leave the Reach behind, even though there was a lot of curiosity, a lot of experience here, especially with like the Forsworn and stuff. At the very beginning of the series, he was shot in the head with a Forsworn arrow. Of course, I mean, so many series get started with an arrow shoved in somebody's skull, right? But he found the arrow to be like this strange totemic artifact, and he carried that around with him forever because this is a spiritual walkabout for him. And the Forsworn really struck his curiosity with their unique perspective on spirituality. But he has since realized that that was a path he'd rather not go down. They were really clinging to a past that was long since gone, and they were causing a lot of death and suffering, trying to recreate that world for themselves. So he threw the strange totemic brain poker in the Karth River, watched it float off, and he headed east towards the Azura Shrine, actually. Is probably our main target right now, but he encountered Whiterun on the way, a huge, sprawling city, looking for work to earn his keep. He's been working out here in the fields for a day or so after just having arrived. But it's getting toward the end of the day, late afternoon, early evening at this point, so he's going to head back into town, get some food, get some rest, and see what's going on in there. Oh, it looks like they're setting up camp over here. Do I have anything to sell? May as well just take a look.
Perhaps you have encountered Madran or Akari. Both are sworn to me.
Hey, Hawkeye. Good to see you join.
Take a look.
Doesn't look like they set up camp yet, but he's still more than happy to peddle his wares. Yeah, I think we're good. This time around, I am avoiding adding any kind of mods just because I don't want to introduce instability like I did last time. But before I started this second playthrough here, I did add Forgotten Magic Redone. It has some sort of druidic and cleric type spells in it that might be interesting for Jagasta, especially regarding restoration and armor. So he is now running Divine Armor and Divine Light. I have them both hooked up to Okado's Recital, and we have Scale Form hooked up there too, even though I don't have that on my favorites menu, my favorites list, to kind of boost unarmed damage for us in combat. And I did actually use my block progression boost formula in the uncapper, which has been great. We are all the way up to 22 in level here, and block has been more than keeping up with everything, just because the orcish block trainer in Morkazgur in the Reach was kind of the only big thing, the big outlet that we had for getting rid of our vast sums of money. But block has actually been keeping up in progression with everything else, which is good. That did lead to some inconsistencies in leveling from the last time. Light armor was much higher at this level in the last portion of the series, in the last save, and that is because of the boost block progression. We were able to take Rushing Tide last time, which boosted our movement speed and our unarmed damage because of this perk right here that gives you boosted damage based on your boosted movement speed. So we are doing a little bit less damage, but our block is much more effective, which I'm okay with. Hastur, yeah. We are going to be doing Azura's Star. At the very beginning of the series, there was an immersive wench. Oh, who are these guys here? Looks like we're missing a guard. That happens sometimes when you come in through the front gates of Whiterun. Probably mostly has to do with the mod loadout I have running. This happens both with the Alakir warriors here and with the conversation that Idoloff, or no, that's Avelstein Battleborn, I think. Or is it Idoloff? I get the two mixed up all the time. The conversation that the Battleborn has with the Smith over here, it's usually the Smith talking to herself for that conversation.
So we will be in Rorikstead if you learn anything.
Strudel, the hat comes from, it's called Straw Hat from Mists of Pandaria or something like that on the Nexus. If you just look for Straw Hat, you'll see that pop up. Oh yeah, Bayofish has you. There you go. Okay, so Jagasta. He is not just going to go willy-nilly looking for people that strange people are telling him to go find for them. So, why are you looking for this person?
It's none of your concern. All you need to know is that we're paying for information. If that doesn't interest you, feel free to walk away.
Okay, I am not going to track down a person without knowing the details, so I will pass, thank you.
From us forever.
Now, even though he declined them directly, doesn't mean that he won't see a Red Guard in the Bannered Mare and casually bring it up in conversation with her. But he's not going to go out of his way to go looking for this person that they're looking for. At this point, okay, so Jagasta actually has a very strong connection with Khenarthi. Oh, and actually let me get back to Haster's point about Azura's Star. So in the very first episode, I think, or the first two episodes, over at Soljan's Sinkhole over here, or Soljan's Sinkhole? Soljan sounds more correct, but I feel like the J is going to be soft. I don't know. Let's call it Soljan. Or is the J only soft at the beginning of the word? 57 Strudel, yeah, so that kimono mod, I think that's like the Samurai Blades armor set. There is a straw hat that comes with that, which is a little more bland, I guess, than this one. But this one works really well. I saw that Noah dropped in too. Hey Noah, good to see ya. Solyand, yeah, that sounds more correct. Doesn't really roll off the tongue so much though. Yeah, so there was an immersive wench over here who I think was, peddling her wares, quote, quote, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, over at the mining encampment over here. Jagasta saw her makeup, thought it was a whole bunch of war paint, thought she was a great warrior, so he struck up a conversation. And then she told him just about this Shrine of Azura out here in Winterhold. And that struck his interest because Azura plays a key role in the creation myth for Khajiit. In their pantheon, she's one of the chief deities, I believe. So that struck his interest. He's going to go... That's kind of the direction that he's going right now. To go check that out, pay his respects to a beloved deity from his homeland. But Whiterun was on the way. He's got to earn some keep. So he decided to stop here and work. But, as we've established, he does have a strong connection with Khenarthi. He is currently worshipping, actually a devout worshipper of Akatosh. He's a devotee now, which helps with dragons and stuff, which are in the game. Jagasta's not dragonborn. He started out as a worshipper of Akatosh that we kind of got from a random roll at the very beginning of this playthrough. But he's also running the Ritual Stone. And in the Khajiiti Pantheon, Khenarthi acts sort of as the archaic figure that guides the spirit of the dead to the afterlife, or the sands beyond the moons, in Khajiiti religion. So that's how we're playing the Ritual Stone, is his connection with Khenarthi, helping him out in battle with the spirits of the deceased, the wayward spirits on their way to the sands beyond the moons. That's sort of like what they have to do to earn their way in, is help Jagasta with some stuff. So he does have a very strong connection with Khenarthi, and I think we're going to explore that a little bit. I would think that as a bit of a conduit with Khenarthi and the afterlife and things like that, that he would also feel a strong connection with the Gildergreen over here. The Gildergreen does also act as a bit of a conduit with Khenarthi, or Kinnereth, in the Imperial Pantheon. So I think he would be very sensitive to the plight of this tree and the blight that affects it. What is wrong with this poor tree?
Each of us, the future of Skyrim, the future
Ooh, that sunset is beautiful, right?
And
Kodak moment. Get Heimsker's rantings out of the way there.
there it is, friends.
There we go.
We are the children of man. Talos is the true.
So he feels a lot of suffering coming from this. He feels a plea from Khenarthi to help. So he's going to feel pretty obligated and almost compelled to figure out what's going on with this thing and try to help. As you can see, everybody's walking around with a brisk pace. I am still running that mod that I made with the walk speed. That wasn't quite as fast as the reasonable stuff, but faster than it was with the no sudden move band.
Tending to those who have suffered, both in mind and body, from this terrible war.
Yes, so you commune with Khenarthi, yes?
Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days.
And dead bodies to our footsteps in this case, right? No, that is just me? Ah, well. So I don't seem to be getting the dialogue to kick off the quest here for her.
Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers
See
began
some
to return,
fierce eye rolling going on in the chat over there.
to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more.
Okay, maybe we have to unlock the dialogue through the rumor at the Bannered Mare over here? Maybe? Oh, you have to meet her under the tree?
Let me know if you need anything.
Oh, we're greeted to a fierce belch, too. That was a nice push, whoever did that.
Nah, I don't think so.
Kind of jealous with all the caffeine I've been chugging down here to get charged up for this. Alright, let's see some kung fu fighting from these guys here. Yeah, they're just trading blows now.
Once was a hero named Ragnar the Red.
Looks like there was an overhead hammer strike there. There's the roundhouse. Whole lot of haymaker hooks, though. Oh, there's the cartwheel kick. The butterfly kick. Alright. This one gets enough kung fu in his day-to-day life. He doesn't need to watch others do it, too.
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires?
I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. So then came clashing and slashing.
Yeah. Have you heard any rumors lately?
I assume you saw the Gildergreen? Big tree, all burnt up.
Do you need a bowl?
It's
A
part
bucket,
of the
maybe.
Temple of Kinnereth.
From what I heard.
People want Danica to do something about it, but I don't know what they expect.
Okay, so if it were waiting on that, then we got it. This one is looking for work. Do you have any leads?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
More bounties, yes. Yeah, well. Bounties can do some good. Maybe if I am bored, yes. Anyway, I would like a bed for the night.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Yes?
Khenarthi will let me know where this one is. She is very knowledgeable about inns and such, so... I hear Khenarthi has been playing this game since 2011, and she knows everything. So... Please do not leave your post to show me where the room is. Thank you very much.
I understand.
But then our steel we will take back
Need
our home.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's go check out our room. We'll change our clothes, get out of these sweaty clothes,
Death we will drink.
and into a dry martini.
Children of Skyrim, and we fight all our
Or at least a stiff mead.
Southern Guard.
There we go. There's his beautiful robes of the Gout Fang. Okay, so I think we have some... We're traveling pretty heavy. As you can see, our carry weight is 326, and I'm not really carrying around anything extraneous that I should be selling at this point. I think a lot of it has to do with the spell research imbued remains and stuff here, so I'm going to do what I can to study those and get them out of my inventory. I also have like a lot of food I've been stockpiling. I probably don't need this much food, but Jagasta does tend to go on his little walkabouts where, you know, he could end up out in the wilderness for days at a time, so it's good to have a good stock on hand. So let's see what we can glean from these juicy sloppy bones here, huh?
And we'll see.
William approves of the mead. I think he has a character that is quite fond of mead herself.
Wipe clean of the scourged. Has sullied
Hit the wrong button there. There we go.
hopes and ours.
So it's very dense. And it explodes. Okay, so I think we're going to get some rest tonight, and then tomorrow morning, after a good night's sleep and maybe some meat and some food and such, we're going to go check out what's going on with the tree out there. And hopefully we can take on the hags and the hag ravens without too much issue.
This is a local favorite. And
Those can be tough too. Especially at legendary. Yeah, so I am playing at legendary difficulty. I have some mods that do make it easier without really kind of affecting the damage intake and output directly.
Nor the red.
And he's tired. He can't study this anymore, so...
Hero named Rag.
I'm running TK Dodge, I'm running Wildcat, and I am running Ordinator. TK Dodge obviously helps a little bit with iframes on the dodge rolls and things like that. Wildcat can make the AI harder to deal with, more interesting in a fight, but it does introduce a timed block mechanic, which can be used to stagger your opponents, which in my opinion can make things easier. So let's see, we do have some alchemical ingredients here we can play with. I have decided to take on alchemy with this character. I'm running CACO. It's not going to be a primary skill like it was with Alcunil. But the Shaolin monks did have some apothecary knowledge in their arsenal of tricks that they could draw upon. Some basic first aid and stuff that they could manage from local flora and fauna and things like that. So we'll take advantage of that with Jagasta as well.
As he told of bold battles in gold he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar.
I don't know. I'm gonna make the audience sit through alchemical experimentation. Maybe I can do this off camera. Yeah. I'm not gonna make you guys watch all that. Okay, so let's get some food and some water, and we'll get some rest and go talk to Danica. What do we have more of? Actually, let's sort this by weight. It might help with our encumbrance issues just a little bit. Ooh, a goat roast. And some squash. Well sated. We should be well hydrated as well. There we go. Hello, Lisa Maria. We have the fish bayo and the fish lady. Fish lady, as in the lady that paints all the fish. With a lot of talent as well, I might add. They look beautiful.
Was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Oh, is mead like a thing in Scotland? I know William doesn't drink. We've been in the same community long enough that we know that about him. I think you can find it around here, but it's really a novelty item. Not a whole lot of people drink mead in my neck of the woods. But I don't drink either, so I wouldn't know one way or the other.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
Oh, yes, of course,
I'm
little
so
one.
hungry.
Well, I have lots of food, too. If you need any more than 1 gold piece, then you let me know.
Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart.
Why are you begging, child?
It's what Brennan said I should do. He's the only one that's been nice.
Yeah, probably more of a Scandinavian thing, right? Seeing as how it's a big thing in
Since he
Skyrim.
died. My aunt and uncle took over our farm and threw me out. Said I wasn't good for anything. I wound up here, but I don't know what to do. I miss her so much.
Oh, well, this one would not mind adopting you, but this one does not have a home for you to live. And trouble finds this one way too often that you would not be safe. But if you need any more help, you please let me know, okay?
Bye.
Traitor! And you best keep your mouth shut before you suffer the same.
Come on, Father. There's
You're
nothing
the
more
best.
to be said here.
Can you be my father?
Oh, Colorado is huge for local breweries. Well, even some of the big national stuff, too. Oh, there's Danica. Okay, maybe she'll talk about the tree now.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yes, what is wrong with this tree? You are the one who is supposed to be tending it, yes?
The Gilder Green, yes. It's a bit of an eyesore at the moment. More of a problem for the pilgrims than for me, but not many of them around anymore.
Well, I can assure you that Canarthia is not happy about the state of this poor tree.
Wait,
What do you have to say about this tree, out of curiosity?
To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo.
Do you know of any way to revive this tree? I think it would be a great thing for both Canarthi and the people of this city.
I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it. Not with any normal metal.
So what kind of ability would work, or I'm sorry, what kind of tool would have the ability to tap the Eldergleam?
Eldergleam is older than metal, from a time before men or elves. To even affect it, you have to tap into the old magic. You'll have to deal with the hag ravens. I've heard about the weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself.
Yes, this one has had dealings with the hag ravens and their various toadies. Okay, maybe I can get Nettlebane for you, although I am not looking forward to dealing with these old magics again.
Your spirit is strong. Kinnereth's winds will guide your path. It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
Okay, so she pointed out this Orphan Rock on her map, and it's just to the south over here. Sort of on the other end of the foothills of this huge mountain here that the Nords call the Throat of the World. Or the, I don't know, the White Tower, the North Tower? It's one of the great towers, I think. Okay, so I think we'll go check that out. Okay, so let me catch up on chat here real quick. Hastur, no, I don't really have any health issues, but there is a bit of history of addiction in my family that I don't want to take part in. So I've never given myself the opportunity there. Other than that, you know, just the smell of it and everything never really appealed to me, so I've avoided it. Yeah, Coors is a huge beer brand here in the U.S. Oh, it's okay. It doesn't affect me really directly, but I've seen some stuff happen, and I share genes with these people, so I want to be careful. I have my own addiction to caffeine anyway, so there's that. I'm responsible with it, though, for the most part. I also have a less healthy addiction to the game that I am playing right now, so there's that as well. Yeah, it's alcohol is a drug, and it's a very tough one compared even to other drugs that give people a lot of issue. And just as William said, seen enough people have bother with it and don't actually envy them enough to actually try that out. I don't judge anybody who actually does drink occasionally. Doesn't bother me at all.
I simply prefer quality merchandise.
Okay, so let's get prepared for some travel here. Oops, missed a button there. We are going to... Oh, we should also take the opportunity to meditate as well. We are still worshipping Akatosh for the time. You know what? I think after this quest we're going to switch over to Kinnereth. I'm running an older version of Winter Sun Faiths, so I don't really have a Khenarthi option, but I do have Kinnereth, and that'll do. Yeah, that's another thing, is alcohol is fundamentally incompatible with a ton of medications, so you got to be really careful. Let's see here. Meditation. So in Khajiit lore, Khajiit religion, Kinnereth and Al-Kosh, or Akatosh, are both kind of like BFFs. So in my mind, as Jagasta worships Al-Kosh or Akatosh, he is also worshipping Khenarthi, sort of indirectly, since they're both on the same side pretty much indefinitely. So at this point, Jagasta is kind of trying to commune with Khenarthi through Al-Kosh, saying that he will take on this task and he will help out this tree. This character is generally peace-loving. He tries to avoid combat and bloodshed as much as he can. So we have to kind of work a little harder to find reasons to take him into combat. Oh, should I do it? I'm doing it. I can't resist. This is another addiction that I have. I'm addicted to not following the path outside of the Whiterun gates. It's not a bad fall for a nimble Khajiit anyway. Seems to be a beautiful morning. Let's just make sure we're not hungry or anything. We're a little bit thirsty. I forgot to fill up our water on the way out, but I think we can hit the river on the way to Riverwood to fill that up. If we need to. Still a little thirsty. Oh no. Looks like that took care of it. I didn't get my notification, but probably because I went from moderate or mildly thirsty to a bit thirsty, and when you're a bit thirsty and a bit hungry, it doesn't show up in the active effects. And you just don't get as strong of a buff from being well sated. It's quite a beautiful morning though, very quiet, very peaceful. The sun hasn't totally risen up above the mountain ridge there. Times like this I like to just kind of take in the atmosphere, especially when we've had 55 days of 110 degree heat or higher in the Phoenix area here, which sets the record by far. It's the hottest summer we've ever had. It's kind of nice to take in the atmosphere and the scenery of Skyrim, especially when the weather seems nice and cool like this. The foggy mountains are a really nice touch. I think that's added by a mod. Is that Ethereal Clouds that adds that option? One of my faves. So, we have a bit of a trek here. Oh, let me make sure I've got Death Alternative turned on. That's kind of a fundamental mod for this playthrough here. There we go. I was playing without it just to get back on my feet and get back caught up to where I was before I started getting the incessant crashing. And I am still running Immersive World Encounters. Who's this fella?
Yes?
Oh, just a merchant? I'm not in the market for anything right now. Thank you, though. Yeah, so we have a little bit of travel, a little bit of walking through some beautiful scenery here. I am pleased to say that I got my load order done for Balefish's first character concept challenge, the Ashlander. I got everything tested out. I got my gray face bugs all worked out, I think. I did some Mages College testing with Immersive College of Winterhold and the Not So Fast stuff, and a bunch of spell mods. I've added Triumvirate to that load order, that profile. So getting very excited to play that. I actually did start playing it last night. I've noticed that when the Ritual Stone gives you a wolf to fight with you, alongside of you, when you're taking on other wolves, it sometimes tends to go aggro against you. It's like still in the same predator faction or something, and tends to turn on you a little bit. Yeah, Strudel, I don't blame you. You probably had a huge emotional dump finishing your huge writing project. But yeah, I actually did start playing him in earnest last night. Looking forward to sharing that with everybody. Well, that adorable video and that adorable tribute to your work yesterday probably didn't help things on the emotional side, right? I was almost getting emotional for you. What a wonderful little thing they did for you. That's that made me feel great. Oh, this weather. We do not get rain like this in Elsewhere. Good thing this hood is quite waterproof. The tail, however, well, the tail will have to be wrung out at my earliest convenience. I think I want to re-edit that storybook scene, and instead of your voiceover telling the story, I just want to have a bunch of meow, 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 meow. Just as a tribute to the IRL strudel. The attitudal, as it were. I love Riverwood. Who else? Who doesn't love Riverwood, actually? I think almost every one of my characters that isn't like a dark shading on the evil side of the spectrum, they come through Riverwood and they just get overcome with just a feeling of, you know, this is just such a quaint little village. Everybody's doing their own thing. They're all more or less happy for the most part. And they think that, okay, when someday I do retire and give up this adventuring / warrioring thing, I'm going to come here, I'm going to create a cottage, and I'm going to retire. I'm going to live the rest of my days out here.
Ain't every day we can... Whatever you need. Buy you smear if it's simple and strong. I can forge it.
Hello, blacksmith. I am quite fond of your little village here. What can you tell me about it?
Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill.
Yeah, I'm running Simply Bigger Trees. The moment I installed it, I knew it was a keeper. Yes, Bayo's wet house. I wish to come back and visit here more when I am not so busy doing Canarthi's work. Yes, very big trees, and I'm quite fond of them. Simply Bigger Trees also looks amazing in VR. If you've had the opportunity to play that game, Simply Bigger Trees does run quite well on that flavor of Skyrim as well, and just standing next to one of these trees and looking up gives you a sense of vertigo and awe. Sort of like, you know, looking at one of these monstrous trees in real life would do. Well, we certainly don't need a wet house right now to complete the effect. The weather's doing that for us. Yeah, the redwoods out here toward the west coast. Very awe-inspiring. Almost like the Hist in some ways. I mean, they're these ancient living things. Okay, we hear some wolves over there. We're not going to go looking for a fight, though. Sometimes the wolves are like right there on that little outcropping, and sometimes they tend to chase like a rabbit or something further up into the forest, and you might be able to avoid them. Ooh, we had some lightning over there. I don't mind it, actually, Magus, the NB rain effect. I can see why some people aren't too impressed with it. It looks a little inky sometimes. It's very dark, kind of black looking. But again, I don't mind it at all. So I just left it in. This was set up as part of the Tuco guide, the visual overhaul that I used years ago when I set up this load order. Whoa. Okay, Canarthi, I hope you are not aiming for me with these. I am doing my best to help you out. You don't need to strike me with the lightning. Of course, it doesn't help that I am sort of holding a lightning rod. But I need my walking stick. I need to save wear and tear on these kitty hips. The Guardian Stones. We're good with Alkosh for now. Oh, I'm sorry, the Ritual Stone. I really like the dynamic that the Ritual Stone has added, and I have to say I'm really kind of pleased with how the connection to Canarthi as a role-playing decision to kind of explain that, whoa, that was kind of terrifying. To kind of explain where these wayward spirits are coming from in battle. Makes a lot of sense for this character, and I am pleased with how that turned out. Okay, so Danica said that the path to Helgen will take me to Orphan Rock. Once I get to Helgen, I will need to go east. Yeah, I haven't actually had any problems, Magus, with any of the lightning or anything. It might mess with the mountain fog, but it looks like the mountain fog is fine to me. At least you can see it like through the trees and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of why once I got through that guide, I kind of left things as they were, because at that point there were people contributing to that guide who knew a lot more about this stuff than I did, and they had a very specific install order and some very specific patches and things that they have you install that kind of mitigate all that stuff. And in my opinion, 3 years later, it still looks great. I have been able to avoid the EXE updates just through some finagling of Steam configuration. Oh, I took a wrong turn. This happens to me all the time. You gotta stay on the cobblestones. If all of a sudden the path turns dirt, then you've gone the wrong way if you're trying to get to Helgen from Riverwood. Yeah, I've avoided updating my EXE, which also comes with certain sacrifices of its own. The updated extended skeleton with like the weapon placements and stuff. Oh, a slaughterfish, great. Let's go ahead and get the ingredients from that. Race menu is another huge one that I've not been able to install because my EXE is too old. Quick Light would be extremely useful, but I cannot install that one either. Quick loot and stuff I'm not really a fan of, but that's another one. There's a lot these days that are tied to specific versions of your EXE, and there is an address loader for older versions of the EXE for the SKSE side of things, but my EXE is so old that that does not work for anything I've tried to use it for recently. I feel like the wind has been in a sleepy mood lately. She's probably feeling, I don't know, overwhelmed, exhausted by life lately, and sometimes people go through those funks and you just need to sleep it off. I hope she's okay and it's nothing more than that, but I get in those funks as well, and that's okay. Okay, heading east from Helgen now. Danica said there would be a standing stone marking the path to the Orphan Rock. I'm guessing she's sleeping in today. Oh, I think I see these standing stones that they were talking about. Nope, it was just a bush. Oh, but the standing stone was right behind the bush. Okay. It looks like the weather's clearing up. Turning to snow flurries, it looks like, maybe. Quick save, just in case here. Let's have our ward ready here, too. Just in case. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to pop a companion here too. Okay, I sense a hostile presence here. Where? Oh, I see them. Oh. Knee to the ovaries. There we go. She had it coming. I also have to get... Ooh, Alkash. I must take this. I have to get out of the habit of just kind of going on autopilot and looting things that I normally loot with this character. I'm trying to do better. Trying to do better. Looks like there's still somebody hostile around here somewhere. Ugh. Traps again? What is this, Dorn all over again? Traps, my only weakness. Uh-oh. Who's shooting at me? Why didn't you say anything, William? Come on, man. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna have to get in there and... put a hurting on her. Choke slam. Oh, there I go, auto looting again. Yeah, right. Let's try not to do that. I feel like there are some runes around here too that we need to be careful of. We saw that strange totem up there. That probably marks where the Hag Raven is, so we're going to try to find cover from that place. Oh, yeah. Oh. Alright. Try to find some cover here. Ouch. Nope, that was not cover. Run away! Yeet! Okay, now that the hag is out of the way, though, that should clear us a path to the Hag Raven itself. Tactical retreat! Yes, exactly. Okay, so I am running a steadfast ward right now, which I don't know how well it's going to stack up against those fireballs that the Hag Raven is casting against us. I do know that mysticism reworks the wards a little bit, and now instead of just having a lesser ward and a steadfast ward, I think there are 4 levels of them. Steadfast being the 2nd level, the apprentice level, I think. So hopefully it holds up. If not, we're just going to have to yeet, aka dodge our way through to close the gap. We also don't have the magical pools to sustain the ward for very long. Okay, that worked pretty well. Oh, that was a point-blank fireball there. Okay. Alright, that's the healing effect, the divine light from Forgotten Magic that helped us out there. That's good. Alright, so that went pretty well. Let's see, what do we have here? This place reminds me too much of the Forsworn in the Reach. We know that the hags have a heavy influence. Frost armor. Might make some use of that, maybe. I see Jagasta as doing some destruction. But mostly pyromancy. Mostly fire magic. And he's not very good at it at the moment. For sure. But... I don't know, I'll have to think about that frost armor. He's also good at the iron body techniques, so armor spells of all types might be of interest to him. I believe that frost armor is actually an alteration spell in Forgotten Magic Redone as well. So that fits with the gameplay build, at least. If not so much with the character concept. I'll look into it. I'll think about it. For the forgotten magic spells, they kind of pop up so infrequently that it's kind of an event when you get one. And sometimes you kind of feel obligated to try it out and use it. I don't know. I think Jagasta would consider it. He would probably study the book and glean what there is to know from it, and then from there he may choose to use it or not use it. Oh, and I've lost rumble in my controller, so we're going to have to do our battery change event here at some point soon, I think. I still haven't gotten that USB cable. I need to go ahead and do that and just use it for the live streams, if nothing else. I do like the freedom of not having a cable, but when you got to deal with... Oh, do you see it? I see it this time. You're not going to get me this time, trap. As I walk right into it. Okay, so we have Nettlebane now. I kind of feel like there's one more hag around here somewhere, though. So we took care of 3 in the southern clearing out there. We took care of 1 up here at the tent. So that's 4 total. And then the hag raven. That might be it. Yeah, I think I said last stream it probably wouldn't be a Demorg stream without a battery change somewhere in the middle of it. Ah, there's another one. These ones get me all the time. And on legendary difficulty, those traps hurt if they don't outright kill you. Like they did in the Gadgeteer stream last week. That was hilarious. What is this place? Oh, I am not alone. I'm sorry. I didn't know these were your bandits. I will not loot them.
Not now, traveler. Come back when you are ready.
Ready for what, I wonder? Okay. Strange old man who does not want to talk. Speaks only in riddles. Oh, another sky shard. I shall take that. No perk this time. Okay, we're not going to take that guy's chest. Not going to loot that guy's chest anyway. This looks like a nice view, yes. Oh, there is Riverwood all the way out there. Looks so small from here, but it actually doesn't look much bigger when you're actually in the town. Well, that is quite the barrow up there. No doubt lots and lots of restless dead in there. Okay, so we have Nettlebane now. We need to bring this back to Danica and see what the next part of this little journey is. Let's take a look at Nettlebane, shall we? Spriggans flee from combat for 8 seconds. I'm running Zim's immersive artifact, or artifacts, and this gets overhauled by it. This has gone through a few revisions through the life of that mod. It's probably much different now because this is an older version of the mod. At some point he had it so that if you had it equipped you could harvest taproot from Dead Spriggans, but I think he changed that to just, you know, add taproot to their standard leveled lists for when you loot it. A lot of the artifacts in that mod has gone through varying waxing and waning levels of complexity. The more complex enchantments on some of the artifacts were way more interesting, but they tended to be buggy and not work so well in practice. Okay, I feel like I'm going to get hung up in the terrain here. Oh, no, we did okay. Khajiit has strong ankles. Sims makes it pretty nice to use the Nettlebane. Yeah, his I think original goal was to make these artifacts, you know, build changing, but he may have actually reserved the build changing status for a lot of the Daedric artifacts, which fits with lore. They should be extremely powerful, and in the vanilla game they just weren't. They were very underwhelming for the most part. Nettlebane probably... Spriggans fleeing from combat for 8 seconds is actually extremely useful. Spriggans, especially at low levels and high difficulty levels, pose a serious threat. And it looks like from the charge level on this that it doesn't really deplete much. So yeah, that actually is pretty useful, but in very specific scenarios, at least the version that I'm running.
Whatever you need. My smear, if it's simple and strong, I can forge it. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
She's a little camera shy up there in the foreground. She's like, awkward. Sell off our loot. Looks like about it.
All right.
Ah, the weather is a lot nicer now. You can sort of more fully experience this place's charm now that he can see everything. Quite lovely with the babbling brook in the background and everything. Babbling brook in the background. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah, she kind of had some shifty eyes, right, Hawkeye? Like she was up to something. I think she was going to steal those steel ingots that are so tempting in Alvor's shop there. Oh, look at that giant moose. Or that's an elk, actually. A moose would be much bigger, I think. Got a little bit of frame drop there as Whiterun loaded in, I think. Hope that doesn't become a problem. Looking like she farted and trying to hide her shame. Yeah, she definitely had the just farted look going on there. Feeling a little less than fresh. Hoping the forge burns off the methane. Nobody smells it. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, is that the Kissy Orc? And Skjarn. Skjarn's not wearing the outfit I gave him, though. What are you guys doing out here? Fighting a flame, Atronach? Hello, Kissy Orc.
You hire me, and you hire the best.
Oh, this is awesome. This is like my favorite part of immersive world encounters, is that your followers all have a life of their own. It looks like they found each other. That's amazing. What are you doing out here?
Yeah, there is. There's something
What is
that's
on your mind?
bothering me for some time now. It's kind of embarrassing to ask, though.
You want another kiss? You know you can trust me.
Well, I guess it's better to ask a stranger. So I've noticed there's this thing the humans and elves do when they press their lips together. Usually with someone they like.
Yes, we did this before. You do not remember? This one is hurt.
Is that what it's called? Well, in any case, I was wondering what that was like.
Well, if you wanted another kiss, I know someone you could practice on.
Well, that's the thing. Orcs have these...
Oh,
tusks.
Skjarn is getting antsy
Well,
for it
it's
back
just
there.
not
He wants a
possible.
kiss too.
Not the way the humans do it. I was hoping you could describe it to me, or at least knew someone who described it to you.
Well, I remember thinking, because the kiss that we shared was my first as well. I remember thinking that it was not nearly as unenjoyable as I would have suspected. With my whiskers and your tusks. It was quite pleasant, actually. Two slaughterfish wrestling in a swamp. Yes, it is quite hard to put into words, but some things are best discovered on your own through experience, I
What?
think.
You think I should file off my tusks? Sounds like an awful lot of trouble.
You didn't have to do that last time. Listen, why don't you follow me? We are on a special quest for Kenarthi. There may be riches in it for you, if you so choose.
Lead on, then. My mace hand's getting twitchy.
And what about you, Skjarn? This could be a good opportunity for some fodder for your songs, yes?
Here's a boss, but only because I allow it.
So to fill you guys in, I am on a special mission for Kenarthi. Kisi Orc, are you coming? Yes, okay. There was a bug in previous versions of Immersive World Encounters. Hey, Hotch. You finally caught one. Good to see you on a live stream. Hotch has been a subscriber of mine for a very long time, back when I was doing just, you know, raw video without any kind of editing or anything like that. One of my first subscribers. Happy to have him in the chat. Welcome. What mod adds the backpack? That is Campfire, I believe. It adds the modular backpacks anyway with, like this one here. This one comes from Campfire. It has slots for the torches, the wood cutting axe, water skins, all that good stuff. I'm not completely sure, but I think maybe Immersive Armors adds some. I'm also running the Bandoliers mod, which adds some pouches and things like that. Oh, you're talking about the backpack on the cat. Yes, that is Samurai Blades, Armor, and Kimono, as Hastur mentioned. And then the little pouch on his left side there, that is from Bandoliers. It's just a light leather pouch, I believe, is what it's called. Yep, the bedroll comes from the Samurai, the Samurai mod. The pouch on the side comes from Bandoliers. Oh, yeah, actually, it gives you a choice between a pattern and a non-pattern one. I actually used I item search mod. Let's see if I can... Where is that thing? The add item menu, just to add it in as part of the character from the very beginning. So kind of cheated to get it, but rounded out the character too much. Not to have it, I suppose. Oh yes, so as I was saying, Khanarthi needs some help. You may know her as Kinareth. Needs some help restoring her conduit tree in this city. And the priestess sent us on a quest to find this old magical blade in order to tap an older tree called the Elder Gleam, to obtain some of its sap and help the tree here to recover. So that is what we are doing. Should make for a good song, Skjarn. As far as the Kisi Orc, I am sure you can find some things to sell on the way that will make this worth your while. Oh, now he's wearing his stuff. I guess we just needed to reload another cell to get the script to kick off, to have him dress up in the outfit that I gave him previously. And as we said before, I think Jagasta has some suspicions as to Skjarn maybe being an inside man and having Jagasta held up and all of his gear taken.
Now scat. You'll scare off my paying customers.
Just one apple, Carlotta.
But he thinks it's important to trust anyway. And in a strange land, familiar faces are always welcome, so he'll take him along for the ride. Why not? Oh, thank you, Hotch. Yeah, I'm using the Tuco guide still. I actually have not changed my load order for years now, as far as the graphical
What is it?
overhauls and such.
For the Gilder Green. I have traveled long here to worship beneath its branches.
Make it stop.
It was taken by a lightning strike. Wish I had time to deal with it, but it's hard enough with all these wounded from the war.
Please, don't just let it stay like this. It's disgraceful.
I really don't have time to deal with you right now. Please just let me get back to
But this is supposed to be your work.
Okay, so it looks like this one cares more about the tree than the priestess.
My body burns.
Thank you.
We'll have to keep an eye on him. Maybe we can take him along as an advisor or something. Hello, Danica.
So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy hag ravens yet?
Yes, I found the old blade for you.
Oh, well, I honestly didn't expect you to come back. Of course, I'm glad you did. Now, I don't really want to touch that thing, though. Do you think you could handle the next steps?
What needs to be done?
Elder Gleam Sanctuary Grove is to the east of here. You can use Nettlebane to retrieve some of its sap.
Was I correct in hearing that you were traveling to the Grove of the Elder Gleam?
Feel better already.
Yes, can I help you?
I am a traveler, a pilgrim. I follow the voice of Kinnereth wherever it can be heard. I've dreamed of seeing Elder Gleam for years. Might I travel alongside you? I promise not to get in the way.
Yes, you are welcome to join me. I have overheard your conversation with Danica, and it sounds like you are a true friend to Khanarthi, so yes, please come with me.
I thank you for your kindness.
Hotch, yes, it is the same, all the same graphical, like, texture and mesh overhauls and weathers and E&B and everything like that. The mood from the Chemical Whispers series, Actually, probably comes more from the fact that I spend more time playing that game at night because Alcunil is a vampire. Also, I'm sure like the voicing and the music and stuff like that have something to do with the dark and gloomy mood there too. This might come in handy. Divine intervention. I'm not sure. Is this added by mysticism? I think it is. Also,
Do you have the Elder Gleam sap?
there's this weird 2,000 gold. There's this weird spell that Danica will give you. And I don't know what mod adds this, but it can be helpful. It's kind of a blood magic thing. Use your own health pool to heal another. We'll go ahead and take the frost armor too. We might play around with that a little bit. While I am on the brain thread of forgotten magic, let's go check to see if we have anything that we can upgrade at this point. Divine armor still a ways away, as is divine light. I don't think we have any druid spells yet. Oh yeah, healing touch we're also using. Oh, we can upgrade this. Yeah, Triumvirate does. I'm not running Triumvirate in this load order. I've learned my lesson as far as adding things. The only thing I've done with this recently was the Greyface fix that I have applied from the Concept Challenge load orders that I have. I've applied that fix to all of my profiles in MO2 now. Vile Spores, not into the Vile Spores. I do like Cleansing Touch. I feel like Khenarthi would help Jagasta not to become diseased. And if we could cleanse our diseases every time we enter combat, that would be quite nice. This is also quite nice as well, although I think I am running a different spell for immediate health recovery from the Cleric branch. The mana recovery would be useful too. Okay, I like Cleansing Touch here. It's probably the least useful out of all of these, but it does make more sense from a roleplay character concept perspective. You know what I could do? Self-sacrifice. Let's look that up in the console. And then the first two digits of the base ID of that is the first two digits of the priority of the ESs in Mod Organizer. So I'll be able to get a definitive answer on where this thing comes from. 120. So when I do finally close out the game, I'll remember the number 120, and I'll look at the load order, and that'll tell me where this spell comes from. I have wondered that for a while. I've happened across it a few times just in dialogue with Danica. 251. Sort of mid-afternoon. I think we have enough time to get there. We may have to camp at the sanctuary. I'm okay with that. While we're here, though, let's go ahead and fill up on our water. We forgot to do that last time.
Would your good friend be named John, by any chance? I've spied the two of you talking quite.
Cool trick, John Battleborn. Gotta love Skyrim.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
This
Think
is
I
a
got a
local
clean mug
favorite
around here
and one
somewhere.
of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red.
Oh, Hotch, you recently watched through that series again? Yeah, I'm actually going to watch through it again myself because at some point I would like to get back to that series. I have a whole lot of story still left for Alcunil that I've storyboarded out, and I have plans for him. That series is not over, it's just a matter of finding the time and the energy to do all the editing that is required for that series. It's quite a bit of work.
Of course.
John is a balance mage, or a gravity mage. Equilibrium mage? A gravamancer?
Make it quick.
Oh, he popped in right when I was trying to get out of there. Yeah, no problem. I actually don't even really mind the work at all when, you know, I'm in the mood for it and not overly busy in my personal life. It's a nice hobby. It's a nice creative outlet, too. It is a lot of work, though, regardless of how much you enjoy it. Yes, exactly. Now that the wife's out of town, maybe some time on my own to spend on his series. Okay, let's see how long it takes for them to catch up. Let's see who wins the race out of the three of them. Alkosh being the god of time, I feel like... oh, is it Skjarn? I feel like Jagasta would have a pretty good internal clock, but this definitely was not a photo finish. Skjarn blew the rest of them away. Alright, guys. Enough playing around. We got serious business to do. We have to take this here old knife to the Elder Gleam, in the Elder Gleam Sanctuary, off here to the east. We got to dig into its sweet, sweet flesh to get some of its sap to help the Gildergreen recover. But something isn't rubbing Jagasta the right way about using this ancient dark artifact to desecrate one of Khenarthi's strongest conduits to this realm. So he's not quite sure what he's going to do about it at this point, but it is kind of weighing heavily on his mind at the moment. Being the all-knowing, all-seeing player of Skyrim since 2011, I know exactly how it's going to play out. And I think this gentleman here is going to have a strong something to do with it, but Jagasta doesn't know that. Also, these bridges are very nice. I might remove them, though. Oh, I was just going to say, I think there's a nav mesh with it that makes it so that followers don't like to cross it, but they didn't have any problem whatsoever this time. Delphine and other followers get hung up on it quite often, in my experience, and I don't know what causes it, but they didn't have any problem with it there. Hi-ya! Can't be any weirder than Delphine's navigation issues when you go with her to Kinnereth or Kynesgrove.
What would do if the Divines hadn't invented bandits? Probably have to sell something else entirely.
Better Roads has a nav mesh issue, or nav mesh issues that were never fixed. Yeah. There might be, actually, Hotch. I used a fantasy name generator for this. I'm kind of crap at coming up with names, so I usually just do a few cycles on an online generator and pick one that sounds good. Sometimes I will combine a few of them into a unique name, but this time I just grabbed one that was off the fantasy name generator. So it is entirely possible that there was a Jagasta in the series, and actually even probable that there was a Jagasta in the series before, but... Ah, Maik, my friend.
Maik wishes you well. Maik does not understand what is so impressive about shouting. Maik can shout whenever he wants.
Yes, but you don't shout often, and that's something that I love about you.
Maik saw a mud crab the other day. Horrible creatures.
Oh, we are all part of Khenarthi's creations, are we not? Or Azura's in our case.
People of Skyrim. Many interesting things they say to each other.
Yes, like you and me.
Maik is tired now. Go bother somebody else.
Maik, ever the direct conversationalist. Beautiful creatures. I wonder if they have any healing properties. Yes? We shall find out. I see a skeever over there. Try to take the opportunity to level some destruction here, huh? I don't see him. Oh, this brush is thick. Oh.
Take that, you fiend!
So yeah, Jagasta does do some destruction magic. He's not very adept at it at the moment. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's a traditional focusing your magical pools into a certain spell type of thing. It's more of a gathering of his ki and a release of energy, sort of more of an Eastern energy philosophy of the whole thing. Much like a Shaolin monk would look at it, I suppose. Oh, a saber cat. Alright. This is rough. Come get it then, kitty.
No more! I yield!
Roundhouse kick to your cat butt. Don't like that much, do you? It is cats like these that give felines everywhere a bad name. Mike spitting facts like always, yeah, for sure. Oh, he was actually a speaker for the Black Hand, huh? Interesting. Well, I think this Jagasta couldn't be further from that Jagasta. I really don't see him taking on the Dark Brotherhood quests at all. In fact, I've actually made my own mods for certain master level trainers. And one of them was for light armor. So the Scout's Many Marshes Argonian in Windhelm is now a master level trainer, specifically so that Jagasta would have access to a master level light armor trainer without having to join the Dark Brotherhood. So there's that. Ooh, this one's tough. And we got to level up. Very nice. Interesting cloak this one was wearing.
I think I figured out why humans and elves touch their lips together. Must be some kind of grooming ritual, like cats who lick their behind.
I resent that. This one has never licked his behind. Mostly because the Katerat do not have the vertebrae structure to allow it, but anyway. Just because I would do it if I could doesn't mean I have.
Stop making a face.
Not sure that defends my point very well, but there you go. Ah, you give cats a bad name. I don't know. Is it impossible to not be a Bon Jovi fan? At least even like a closeted Bon Jovi fan? I feel like you can't not like his songs. Even if your chosen exterior demeanor demands that you not like something so mainstream and I don't know, hokey. Oh. Another cat. Roundhouse kicks are like saber cat kryptonite, I've determined. All the field dressing and stuff is really making time move quickly. Didn't realize what was a song. Oh, You Give Love a Bad Name is the Bon Jovi song. Exactly. Strudel has it. You give love a bad name, Haggis. I can't. Go look it up. It'll change your life. Okay, so Jagasta, like I said, he does avoid combat when he can. He doesn't go out looking for it. He actually will pay bandits their shady tolls that they are always asking for. But these bandits in particular, it depends on if they've already been aggroed by something. But they may just straight up attack you without asking for a toll. Looks like we're okay this time. Sometimes even when you do pay the toll, they change their mind and come after you if you linger around too long. You've definitely shot us through the heart, Haggis. You are to blame. Okay. Here's the money. Please leave us be.
Wise move. Now get out of here, you goat licker, before I decide the toll's going up. Left when you had the chance.
In the last 5 minutes, I've been accused of licking my own behind, and now accused of licking... Yeah, see. And now accused of licking goats. Okay. We gotta take care of these bozos now. They are a menace. Speak of the devil. Death Valley driver off the cliff. Oh no, he turned around. I was hoping he would spike him down off the balcony there. That would have been epic. Oh, where are you guys? Can I get some help here? And where did my wolf go? Take a backhand to the face. Talk to the paw, because the face don't want to hear it. Alright, come on. Bandit Chief this time, eh?
Let me pretty up that face of yours.
Chief Schmeef. Okay, now Skjarn's going at it. Looks like his rapier animation is broken, but that's okay. Sometimes when there's a lot of NPCs on the screen, they revert back to their vanilla animations for the animated armory weapons, but not a deal breaker.
Prepared to die.
Okay. Easy peasy. Legendary what? Ooh, this one has an apple pie. We'll take that. Some onyx. Just check the corpses for some forgotten magic tomes now. You know, I was, when I first started using forgotten magic, I wasn't sure what I thought about the dispersal of the spell tomes and how you learned the spells. I do have it hooked up to spell research, which does help mitigate that a little bit, but the more I thought about it and the more I played, the more I kind of like it. It's like these old tomes of magic that have kind of been forgotten to time that you can find now and then on certain enemies. Is there furniture missing here, or is that upstairs? I think that's upstairs. Weird. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of like actually finding forgotten magic tomes now. It's kind of a nice, fun little surprise when you come across them. I'm a fan. Can't help it. Archery? I've already gotten this one. It's not glowing, so it looks like I've already read it. And what kind of enchanted bow do we have up here? Bow of Flames. I'm actually not sure if I have that one. I probably do because it's a very common enchantment, but we'll take it just in case. Oh, I'm sorry. Feel free to take whatever you want from the loot, Kissy Orc. I know that's how you prefer to be paid. Okay, Hawkeye. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, there was supposed to be like a bookcase or something up there, wasn't there? Like right over... Oh yeah, there is a bookcase there. It's just dark. I didn't look at it. Anywho. Check the rest of these corpses and we will get on our way. It's already getting pretty late. We might actually camp out with the worshippers at the Elder Gleam Sanctuary when we get there. One more corpse check, or actually two more. No tomes. And no more tomes. But she's got some Nord mead. You know, I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't just camp out here on our way. Maybe that's what I'll do. We'll set up camp out here. We still have quite a ways to go before we hit the sanctuary. And we might run into trouble somewhere along right here too, so... We actually have a bounty for the giant. We must have picked that up at the Bannerd Mare. Maybe we'll get that on the way back while we still have Skarn and Duraz in our group. Oh yeah, we got the gold back, the 200 gold. Right. Interesting. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to pause. I am going to change out my batteries. Oops. And we'll set up camp and stuff here too. Going to recharge my batteries as Jagasta recharges his. Check in on chat here too. Yeah, the knee to the hip toss is really cool. It's one of my favorites as well. I kind of like the choke slam too. Did I miss anything else there? No, just making fun of William for never hearing of that Bon Jovi song. Okay. All right. So now we have a nice source of water here with the White River.
That's full of flair, and no one cared how foul the air. What? Don't look at me like that. It's a work in progress.
I hope so, because it sounds like you need a lot of progress. Okay, let's find a flat or somewhat flat clearing. Looks like this might be a good area to set up a camp. Yeah. Do I have any wood, any firewood or anything? No dead wood. No firewood. All right. So, we'll have to rummage. Mildly hungry, mildly thirsty, so let's take care of that first before we start making camp. Drink the off-brand stuff first before we break into our Blackbriar stuff. Get some bread. Oh yeah, let's take the heaviest stuff first. It'll help out with our encumbrance a little bit. Another squash. I can't do another squash, but we can do the canine rack there. Resourcefulness. Here we go. Oh my gosh, Maurice. Oh, Maurice found 2 extra pieces? That was cool. I didn't know they actually did that. Must be a vanilla follower thing with campfire. Interesting. Okay. Let's build our campfire here. Just do quick. Alright. He's standing a little close. I think he wants to be known as the gangster of love instead of Maurice at this point. Is that another song reference that William isn't going to get? Yeah, I did save quite a bit during that fight. Maurice is not essential. He dies very easily. I've had that happen quite a bit. Lose Maurice on the way to Elder Gleam. Sucks. Set up our cooking pot. Cook up some of this meat. We can set up our tanning rack. And we'll put that like right over here, I suppose. And we need to set up our tent as well.
Is it much further to the same?
Oh my god, get out of the way. It'll have to do. Alright. What can we cook? What can we cook? I am running CACO, like I said, so the more we cook, the more advanced recipes we'll have access to as time goes on. We have a whole lot of animal fat. I don't know what I can do with the tallow. Maybe making weapon coatings? Make a few boiled skeever tails. We can go ahead and clean up a whole bunch of bandages because we have a water source right over there.
What is it?
Oh, he's aggressive. Aggressively inquisitive. That'd be a good name for your indie band there, Skjarn. Okay, that should about do it, I think. And let's go ahead and tan some leather. Yeah, absolutely. Our encumbrance is creeping up on us here. So anything that can lessen that. Of course, I think tanning leather actually will increase my current encumbrance, yeah, by a lot. I actually should have waited on this till I got somewhere with a forge to actually make some gauntlets or something with us. Yeah, I'll hold off on the rest there. I could make another pouch or two, I guess, but I don't know. I kind of like the way the character looks in his current loadout, his current gear. Maybe we can whittle some animal bones, though. Do some scrimshaw. Oh, just make a bunch of strips. Yeah, that would help. There's not really a whole lot of looting on the way to Elder Gleam anyway, I think, so I think I'll be alright. I'd like to get the smithing levels. Probably do all that off camera. Scrimshaw, what do we have here? We can make some rings. Ooh, some Kynareth trinkets. We'll definitely do that. That helped a little bit too. Alright. Let's turn in for the night. Let's just make sure we're not hungry or anything. Looks like we're good. Replenish our supply of water here. Oh, I'm sorted by weight, not alphabetical. Okay, maybe I can make some more clean bandages here now too. I like the first aid stuff that is added by CACO. In terms of pure efficiency and usefulness, it's not quite as good as just the straight up alchemy, but it does give you some opportunities to roleplay and add some novel mechanics to a specific character concept that you're looking to play. Alright, turn in. We've been at it for 2 hours here. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I think I would like to keep going, especially since the wife's not here. I got some extra time now. I don't have to entertain anybody. I'd like to keep going until we get through the Elder Gleam stuff, and maybe even make it all the way back to Whiterun. It's going to be a long stream. Don't feel bad if you have to drop off. But I would kind of like to have some closure with this line, this quest line here before I give up for the day.
Where are we headed? I could use a drink.
And let's go ahead and pack everything up. Meditating to Akatosh, which gives us a boost to damage to dragons, actually got me thinking that if we get accosted by a dragon randomly on the way, Maurice might be done for. So I will be saving often, as Magus suggested. Hello, Lord Daka. How are you this fine afternoon / morning / evening, depending on where in the world you're from? Evening for you, so probably Europe. Probably the opposite hemisphere from where I am. But that's one of the amazing things about live streaming a video game, is that we are all the way across the world from each other, and we can still hang out and play Skyrim together. Quite a world we live in these days, yes? I'm good, actually. Looking forward to starting in on the weekend. Oh, we got a bear.
Victory is yours.
And what could be better than spending the first part of your Saturday playing Skyrim with some friends, huh? Not much, I say. Yeah, I agree, actually. Especially for a Khajiit martial artist. I mean, if you're being like a Nord or Orc brawler or something like that, then yeah, maybe just the vanilla Haymaker stuff is better. I think there's also a jab cross animation mod on Nexus. I like the vanilla claw swipes for a Khajiit or Argonian, though. Well, looks like Hotch is playing Skyrim along with us. Nice. Yeah, no heavy story stuff or anything going on here, so completely viable to play this in the background. It's not like a Couch Warrior stream or anything. Yeah, you don't strike me as a Forge wife there, Duraz. Let's what's this? An Imperial convoy. Looks like a prisoner of war that they are shepherding back to some prison somewhere, no doubt. Oh, Bayofish is playing his favorite game called Creation Kit. Actually, Bayofish, from your Discord channel, I've been spending a lot more time in the Creation Kit, and what's enabled me is your little tips and tricks with the fixes and the INI configurations and stuff. I used to have to wait forever and clear out all those errors and everything. It was just a huge pain whenever I'd have to go into the Creation Kit to address something. But now I don't mind it at all. If I need to go in there and tweak a value or something, it's super easy. Very convenient. Much appreciated for all that stuff. Very hyped about the latest Couch Warrior series, Ascendance. Always hyped about any Couch Warrior series, actually. If he's coming up with new stuff, then I'm excited to watch it. Another bad doggy over here. What do we have now?
Victory is yours. I submit.
Oh.
Die, damn you!
What the hell's going on here? Why do you attack those people? They were probably up to no good, but I don't think they were doing anything shady. They are necromancers. It looked like she was just worshipping a spider or something. These are weird alchemical components. We'll take some of those. Flames we already have. Take the Nern root. Have plenty of hanging moss, I think. Wild healing we have as well. Yes, Couch Warrior, for my part, is the best Skyrim content creator on YouTube, for sure, and pretty much any platform for that matter. Just the story, just the production values alone, even without the story, I think I would be awestruck by anything that he made. But then he puts all that thought into his character concepts and his roleplay. And the voicing? Forget about it.
He's a half-decent farmer. Ask him to teach you to farm.
I don't think it is good to restrict the life path of a child this early on in their life. This is the time to explore, to discover what one likes, what one is good at. But I will not be doing any backseat parenting in a strange land, in a strange settlement.
What's your trouble? That Argonian telling tales again?
What do you have problems with this Argonian? Anyway, what can you tell me about your little settlement here?
Not much to it, really. We fish and keep to ourselves. Try to keep from upsetting the Empire or the Stormcloaks. And so far the war
this is not unarmored. I'm actually running the light armor variant of these robes. In Ordinator... Oh, what's going on here?
Hey, watch what you're doing.
Is that another necromancer?
Somebody help.
Interesting. That guy came out of nowhere. Yeah, so in Ordinator, the unarmed tree is under light armor, so it kind of scales with light armor. It levels light armor and everything, so I went with the light armor variant. But he still has the sort of traveling monk robe look to him, I think. Definitely unarmed. He does have a walking stick that he uses when he travels that I forgot to equip there. Which acts as a shield. This is added by campfire. And he does use some destruction magic. A little bit. He's still kind of training in that right now. He's not very effective with it. But other than that, pretty much just unarmed. A lot of kung fu fighting. Kung Fu Kitty, if you will. Okay, we got some wolves here. Obviously, I'm running some animation mods that change the power attacks to kicks. I'm also running a mod that gives me an unarmed hotkey, and I'm also running a mod that gives me ability to block in unarmed combat and still take advantage of all of the unarmed perks from Ordinator. So quite a bit to enable this playstyle. Actually, so much to enable this playstyle that I broke my original save and had to completely replay up to this point. Which I don't mind, because it's actually been a blast to play. Couch does plan a lot in advance, yeah. If you've been privy to some of his brainstorming sessions and things like that, it's really eye-opening just how much work he puts in to his stuff. It's really quite impressive. Both the work that he puts into it and the
Stronghold taught me how to fight,
the output,
how to forge.
the end product itself.
I took too quickly. The second hasn't really taken.
Yep, these are the old geared robes. I have not played The Witcher 3. I am very much looking forward to playing it at some point, and I might actually get to it at some point soon while waiting for Cyberpunk, which is taking forever to come out. I played uh-oh. Yep, we got a dragon. I'm getting the distinct feeling that it might not aggro. But I got my ward and my firebolt here ready to go just in case. I'm thinking at this point I might just go into the cave just to save Maurice. That might also have been the dragon that is attached to that wall. At Bone Strewn Crest, I believe it's called. Ooh, it's dark in here. So I'm running relighting Skyrim, and it removes a lot of the ambient lighting from a lot of the world spaces and interiors and things like that. Elder Gleam's Sanctuary is really heavily darkened, though. I think they went a little overboard with this because there is just no light whatsoever in this place. It's always incredibly dark whenever I come here, and you can't really even see the Elder Gleam tree itself, which is supposed to be like a really impressive sight.
Like now, I wish I was a seemed like this could be
Yeah, if you can actually see anything. Luckily, Khajiit can see in the dark quite well, but the rest of you, I'm afraid I must pity.
Hello there, friend. Come to enjoy the sights and sounds of this beautiful sanctuary of Khajiit. Truly remarkable, isn't it?
I'm sorry, friend, you are going to have to speak up. I cannot hear you over the rushing water. Let me catch up on chat here. Hey, there's Simpa. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Jagasta's back. I had to replay. I'm sure you know. I've talked about it a lot. I've had to replay Jagasta up to the point where I left him off in his last stream, just because the save was so broke. But it seems to be extremely stable so far. Knock on wood. Not too loud because my dog will bark. She'll think somebody's here. But yeah, I have not had a single crash with Jagasta. No, that's not true. I did crash at Understone Keep once or twice. I don't know why, but I haven't had a problem since. I have used RLO before. My personal favorite's probably ELFX. It just adds a little bit more drama to the lighting, in my opinion. RLO and relighting Skyrim are both very realistic. I kind of like what ELFX brings as far as wow moments. I think it does just a little bit better job with that, in my opinion. How far are you up the light armor tree so far? Did you get to the movement speed buffs yet? I love the light armor tree so much in Ordinator. Yes, I'm a big fan as well. Before my last save completely borked on me, I did get the movement speed buffs, but I have since reconfigured my uncapper INI file to buff the block progression a little bit, and that has kind of affected things a little bit. So light armor isn't progressing quite as quickly as it had scaled with in terms of total level before. Instead, block is kind of stealing the limelight, especially considering that I had quick access to a master level block trainer at Morkuz Gur over in the Reach. So I spent a lot of my money there training up block, which is also very useful for this character with the mods that I have running. So block has kind of overshadowed light armor this go round, but it looks like I'm at light armor 50 now, which means that I probably can take those movement speed buffs, which do add a lot of damage. A lot of synergy there between movement speed buffs and damage buffs in the light armor tree. I will agree. I'm also a big fan of the light armor tree in Ordinator. I hardly ever do anything else as far as either just clothing or heavy armor. I almost always go with light armor. That's the way it was in vanilla for me too, though. I like the mobility, the balance between mobility and protection. Let's see here. Health hasn't been an issue so far, especially with all the followers that I have with me right now. Stamina is great because I have perks that scale unarmed damage with your current stamina levels. So I usually increasing the stamina level or the stamina pools actually give a nice little buff to your unarmed damage. So I've been heavily taking stamina. Magicka is also becoming an issue now too, with the wards and the healing spells. We're having to wait for that to recharge quite a bit. So I would love to keep pouring stuff into stamina, but just for survivability I need to start focusing on health and magicka a little bit more. And I think at this point Iron Fist would be great to take, but I have 2 perks right now, and I think I want to spend it right now on Rushing Tide, which gives movement speed bonuses that stack as you hit people with unarmed attacks, and then you also get a 10% movement speed boost here if you're wearing all light armor. Which actually scales quite well with this perk here. 2% damage per 1% movement speed boost. So taking this right now is automatically going to give me 20% more unarmed damage, and you could see with the fights with the saber cats and the cave bears and stuff that we're already doing quite a bit of damage. And it's also going to be a nice synergy with this Rushing Tide perk too, because we're going to get a 10% damage bonus per 5% movement speed bonus that we get every time we hit somebody. So that's going to make this character much stronger right out of the bat. And then as soon as I get another perk, I'm definitely going to put it right into Iron Fist here. Which is going to increase unarmed damage. Even more. Followers are leveling up. Very nice. Let's just take a second to talk with some of the worshippers out here, shall we? Oh, it's a little better lighted out here. I just wish the Elder Gleam were lighted better with relighting Skyrim. Oh, one of Simpa's favorite characters here, Amelie.
Amazed. Praise Kinneret for allowing such beauty in the world.
Yes, indeed. Kinneret is a good friend to us. What can you tell us about this place?
You are in Elder Gleam Sanctuary. Just a small glimpse of what beauty Kinneret has to offer. Wonderful place, isn't it?
And the tree up there, is that Elder Gleam?
Yes, my friend. Though no one has been able to get close to her for as long as I can remember.
I struggle a bit when there's R's and L's and I have to roll the R and the L at the same time in the same word with the Khajiit dialect. Why is this?
As you can see, Elder Gleam's roots are large and stretch far, blocking any path to her track. Though, believe it or not, there are rumors of a weapon that even Elder Gleam herself would lift her roots for, more out of fear than respect.
I think I know of such a weapon. You mean this item?
The rumors are true. I beg of you, don't harm the tree. Nothing good can come of it.
Yes, here's the conundrum. There seems to be a balance to be struck here with increasing Khenarthi's reach to Whiterun and harming this beautiful tree. Bane. I think what we shall do is use the item to make it to the tree. Ooh, that's pretty. And from there we shall decide what to do. Hello.
Wow, have you ever seen anything so amazing? Why are there more people here? Tours must be organized, paintings commissioned. As adventurers, it's our duty to show
Lighting
the
added.
street.
Oh, hey, the wind. There she is. Yes, this tree is indeed magnificent. Yes, I share your awe.
Yes, dispatch the couriers. Have the Jarls make a decree. To each and every citizen of this land, I say, open your eyes and behold its beauty.
You seem like someone who really appreciates nature and Khenarthi's gifts to this plane of existence.
Oh yes, the water, the animals, the trees, all play with the developed mold into indelible art, and at the heart of every explorer is an admirer of that beauty.
Dibella beckons me to explore the mortal form. I don't think Dibella has much of an influence on Khajiit culture, do they? Any of the lore wonks out there can fill me in? I too think that Khenarthi's beauty should be experienced by more people.
That's the spirit, but don't just spread the word, shout it! Scream it from the pit of your stomach! If I see an ear, I lend it my voice, so that it'll ring inside for all eternity.
So many in this province, including current company, will adventure just for profit or for this story. Do you ever do the same, or do you just wish to witness the beauty of nature?
Of course. What do you think all this is? It's more valuable than any gold coin. Now if I find a gold coin, and I do find them often, bags of them, I deliver it straight to the donation book. 10 gold pieces, 7 goes to the temple, 1 goes toward food and shelter, and 1 goes to alms for the poor.
I would say that Amelie is probably quite the kindred spirit with Jagasta. I think they would get along quite well. We have a small army at our beck and call at the moment, but I wouldn't mind having her along on some adventures. I'm sure Simpa wouldn't mind either. Ah, but this only adds up to 9 gold pieces.
Oh, I forgot. 1 gold piece goes to spreading...
Yeah, I didn't think so, Magus.
Can you believe the cost of ink and paper these days? One time I didn't have any gold, so I carved my petition to change the name of Bloated Man's Grotto on the wall of the Jarl's longhouse. The guards were none too pleased, but really, Bloated Man? Why not call it Handsome Man's Grotto?
But that is the nature of nature, so to speak. Not all of it is as pleasing to the eye. A bloated man is just as natural as a handsome man. Okay, well, good tidings. I have some things to do, but maybe we will talk again on my way out, yes?
Farewell.
Okay, so... Jagasta feels a dark energy coming off of this blade. And he can feel through his connection with Khenarthi that there's a deep fear of this blade. If we can touch the blade to the tree, maybe we can get the roots to move for us here, but we'll be careful not to cause any damage. Here we go. Yeah, in terms of lighting mods, I've tried all of the big ones anyway. RLO, ELFX, and now relighting Skyrim. And I think I was happiest with ELFX. Now, the E&B that you're choosing in your weather mods and everything is going to have a big part to play in how everything looks. So you got to kind of be careful and plan out what mods you're going to use and pick the E&Bs and weather mods and stuff according to what is best. But yeah, ELFX is what I like the best. So Danica says that I need the sap from this tree to fix the Gilder Green. Do you have a better way of doing this?
You would violate this marvel of Kynareth's glory to fix that half-breed stump in Whiterun? That's abominable. Barbaric! I'll have no part of this. Why didn't you tell me what you intended?
Well, I wasn't going to feel good about it, but it was in the name of spreading Kynareth's love to other areas. What would you have me do?
Well, yes. There is something. It won't repair the tree back at the temple, but we could bring them a new one.
Okay, what did you have in mind?
Follow me. I think I can convince the tree to help us. The Elder Gleam has blessed us with a sapling. You should take it to Whiterun. Danica will want to see that the true blessings of nature lie in renewal, not a slavish maintenance.
Okay, and what will you do now, gangster of love?
I believe I'll stay here and bask in Elder Gleam's warmth a bit longer. Good luck on your travels. May Kynareth's wind carry only the sweetest scents.
Very well. And what do we have here? An Elder Gleam sapling. A symbol of renewal and regrowth. And the fact that death is just another new beginning. I like it, and I think Kynareth approves. CACO also does add some fairly rare ingredients to this area, in terms of ingredients from Oblivion. So we'll take a minute to just take up a sampling of some of these. Ooh, I got some weird audio things going on there. Probably take the opportunity to meditate to Khenarthi as well here, or Akatosh and Khenarthi, I suppose. Now, I think I do plan on switching over to Kynareth once we turn in this quest back at Whiterun. I think worshipping Kynareth just fits a lot better with this character than Alkosh or Akatosh with this version of Winter Sun, anyway. Oh, even with Night Eye active, this is still really dark. And then it gets really bright out here. Ooh, I don't know if I've ever noticed this chest up here before. Nice. Oh, hello, friend.
Well, Elder Queen Sanctuary, my friend. If you have any questions, speak to ask.
Let's grab a little bite to eat and some drink here as well. Soak up the ambiance a little bit. Okay, so we also do have the dragon threat looming just outside the cave, so it probably wouldn't hurt to have a little more backup in terms of Amelie. I think we're going to take her on. And get her all kitted up and everything. And I've played with her in the past, and there is a particular armor set and sword that I like to give her, so let's see if we can find that. The armor set that I like to give her is from Divine Elegance, but I don't remember the name of it. It's a light armor set, kind of like fur. I have gone the sexy route with her in the past because she's a worshipper of Dibella. The Huntress armor from Divine Elegance fits her quite well. But I prefer the sort of... it's kind of an adventure... It's a fur set with some long pants and a furry hat. It looks totally adorable on certain characters, and it looks great on her. I just gotta find it. I don't remember what it was called. I'll know it when I see it. Definitely wasn't lingerie. This is the Huntress stuff. It's a great set, but it is very skimpy. It does fit certain characters. The one I'm looking for is not the Huntress set. The Wind, that is Skjarn from a previous stream. The guy in the hood and the Alpha Rogue armor. He is a bard from Dragonbridge, added by interesting NPCs. He has a very high opinion of himself. Oh, it's this stuff, the Esisha Fur set. It's a great set, one of my faves. Let's see, is she a redhead or does she have brown hair? We'll take both. And the sword that I like to give her comes from the J. Seuss swords? No. I always spell that wrong. It's J and then Seuss. The letter J.
All my life in kind,
no. J Swords. It's the name of the ESP. Oh, the old geared robes? Yeah, that's what I'm still using for Jagasta. For Amelie, this is the set that I'm using. The light armor set. Alban sword is what I like to use for her.
Once visited the Elder.
We also need a bow and arrow for her too. Something kind of schmancy. Because she's all about the aesthetics. Let me take the quick second here to catch up with chat here. Luminosity is what Baofish is using right now. Doesn't make it so dark. Yeah, for me, ELFX just kind of fills in the missing spots. With relighting Skyrim, I feel like there's a lot of places where they just kind of forgot to add lighting. They took away all the ambient lighting, but then they kind of just ignored actual lighting sources. So you get a lot of areas that are just completely dark, and even like in interiors and stuff that is completely impossible to find your way around without lighting a torch or using night eye or something like that. ELFX, at least on its own, without an E&B anyway, it seems to kind of fill in those little light sources all over the place. It seems to be more complete than relighting Skyrim, in my opinion. And it looks like Baofish is going to do some Archer gameplay on Monday. That sounds good. And he's going to show off his new lighting setup. Sounds good. And he agrees with ELFX being the most complete. That's good. I like it when Baofish agrees with me, because Baofish is right a lot. Amelie is great, Haggis. I think if you like Zora, you'd like Amelie as well. She's not quite as sarcastic as Zora, but she has kind of a similar jovial energy, and you can actually hear her. She's not as quiet. Sorry, I'm going to be scrolling through bows for hours because I have so many armor and weapon mods added in. But as we have encountered Duraz and Skjarn on our travels and took them on, I want to give the same treatment to Amelie, because I think fleshing out the character with their gear loadouts and everything goes a long way to fleshing out the character as a whole. That's fancy. Is this the one that Stu's new character is using, Couch Warrior? This is one of my favorite bows ever, by the way. Castian. Is this Castian's bow? Hey, Loki. Darnair Gaming. Good to see you join. Amelie is also young. I think she's 15. So if you're looking for a romantic partner, your character better be young as well. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it looked familiar. I'll give this one to her. Oh, we also need some fancy arrows to go along with that too, don't we? Ooh, caps lock. What kind of fancy arrows can we give to Amelie? I think the Darit arrows might be a good one for her. That looks like it might go with the whole aesthetic, I think. Let's go with those. Alright, Amelie. Time to play dress up. Alright. She's a little punny. I don't know how I feel about that. Although, after all the cereal puns in Balefish's stream yesterday, and I don't know if I can judge her for that. Let's... okay, she's not touched by the Bijan overhaul, so she's not going... She wears undies. So I can actually use AFT to manage her gear. And make her use exactly what I want. With the Tuco Guide, Bijan characters actually are going commando, so I have to let the vanilla system manage their gear. But for everybody else, I can use AFT. The reason is because sometimes the script that actually manages their outfits doesn't fire properly when there's a lot going on in that world space or that cell. So you might get some naked followers now and then, especially when you have a bunch of them following you. Yeah, I agree with Simpa. She does follow Debella, but she's not that kind of Debella follower, in my opinion. Let's see. We're gonna have her wear a helmet all the time. She gets the sword, she gets the Scrimshaw bow, she gets the Darit arrows, she gets the Isisha fur, the armor, the boots. I think I like her with the red hair better, honestly. Alright, get up here, let's have a look at ya. I think this fits her quite well. Oh, jeez, get off her. She's 15, Sond. Get your face out of there. No motorboating the 15-year-old. Oh, my God.
Do you need something?
Quite nice, in my opinion.
I've got it all.
Maybe later, yes? This one is furry and good for a snuggle, and now you are too. The hair is a little weird. I think it will grow on me. Okay, we're gonna keep the gang around for the potential dragon fight once we leave the cave. I'm hoping Maurice has left our service. Okay, yeah, so we have Skjarn, we have Amelie, and we have Duras over there. Alright, let's get out of here. It is just about noon. We've had lunch. We need to make the journey back to Whiterun to finish off this quest line, and then I think we can call it a stream right there. Let me catch up here. She looks good. Yeah, I think so too. I really like this set. Catching up on chat. Yeah, she's a budding adult. I don't know where I got the 15 number from. I thought maybe she had said it in one of her dialogue options, but I might be wrong. I just kind of got the 15-year-old vibe from her. She boasts about just becoming an adult in her dialogue, so maybe she's closer to like 18 or something, I guess. So maybe Sond isn't criminally creepy, just creepy. Yeah, I think Stu is using... I don't know what arrows he's using, but they are very cool looking. I'd like to know what quiver he's using. Oh, it sounds like Loki's having crash issues again. Yeah, you need a new rig, I think. Okay, so Sympathing's 18 to 20-ish. That kind of fits, too. Sond is kind of, yeah. So hard to keep on what is modded slightly and what is majorly overhauled. Oh, yeah, with Stu particularly, he likes to tweak the textures for everything. And he is a Photoshop wizard. I wish I had half the skill he did in Photoshop. That's something I really got to shore up on. I think I could make a lot of improvements to my channel just through Photoshop. Would help a lot. Also, enabling advertising probably would get my channel in front of a lot more eyes, but I don't want to go that road. I don't want to make anybody sit through an advertisement to get to my B-tier streaming. Oh, Loki, yeah, we're doing the Nettlebane quest, the Gildergreen. We're restoring the Gildergreen in Whiterun. Jagasta felt a distress coming from the tree, since he is a conduit to Kynarthi or Kinnereth himself, as is the tree in Whiterun, so he decided to take on this quest for Danica to restore the Gildergreen in Whiterun and help spread Kinnereth's influence. Oh, that's okay. I posted in the vids channel on Magus's, the Northern Kingdom, I think. But that's okay. No worries. You're a bit late, but we'll still be going for a little bit longer. That's a good point, Simpa. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a 15-year-old into battle either. But she can handle herself quite well. The Akaviri arrows, yeah, I love the Akaviri arrows, but retextured, they could look even cooler, I think, without the gaudy dragon all over it and everything. No real money. I mean, I think you can get a few cents per month for a small channel. But yeah, for me, it's not worth it. I've considered doing it just for, you know, getting the channel out there and creating a little more of a subscriber base, but that's not important enough to me to make everybody sit through commercials for my videos. YouTube tends to promote advertised videos that have advertising enabled, so it'll show up more on people's suggested videos on their home screens and stuff like that if you enable advertising on them. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Bayofish. Sorry, I'm a little behind the conversation. I had to go back and look at chat. Yep. We're on the same page. It's just I'm on a page that everybody else was on a while ago. That's a good point, William. You just don't know. Is she a Breton? Or is she an Imperial? I think she's a Breton, yeah. So she could have a longer lifespan. So 18 for her probably could be closer to 15 for a normal human. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Yeah, I actually subscribe to YouTube Premium just so I don't have to look at advertisements. And for me, it's also worth it for Cobra Kai. I love me some Karate Kid. Oh, Amelie's a Nord? Yeah, okay. So about regular IRL human lifespan then. She does have a Breton vibe, doesn't she? They probably modeled her to look like a Breton just to convey youth. Okay, there was a dragon flying around out here before we went in. Oh, there's a lot of ingredients. Yeah, I think this might be the bone-strewn crest dragon, and if that's the case, he'll probably leave us alone out here. But there is, I think, a spawn point for dragons right out here, so we got to be careful. Get our walking stick out to help with this rough terrain. Oh, there's dark water right over there, so just head around the hot springs here. You know, for the longest time, I didn't realize that there were sulfur deposits added by CaCO. They're kind of hard to pick out, but they act kind of like an ore vein that give you... I don't see any right around here. But they act like an ore vein that give you alchemical ingredients. And they're pretty valuable, too. Something I didn't know for the longest time.
And Archivist thinks that we should go there.
Almost thought those were glowing spell books. Is this a corundum mine? That's good to know. Corundum is quite valuable early in game, and later on in game too, because it helps you create steel ingots out of... Where are they going? Are they running away from something, or are they... Yeah, they help you create steel ingots from iron ingots. And especially if you run mods, there are a lot of steel weapons that are very viable later in games. Or later in your game, and armor as well, for that matter. Okay, we got more weather here. I think at this point we can dismiss Skjarn and Duraz. Duraz, definitely. Since she's already gotten everything valuable that she could loot from the places that we've been, so nothing in it for her anyway, anymore.
Face anyway.
Skjarn probably wants to hang around for the story to see the new Gilder Green take root. Forest dragons? Yeah, no forest dragons in this game.
Important deliveries to make. No time for chatting.
Your hands only. Forest dragons come from diverse dragons, I think. And I'm not running that in this game. I run dragons so infrequently in most of my playthroughs anymore that I didn't think it was worth a spot in the load order. But at some point I will create a dragon hunter or dragonborn character, and I think I'll have to throw that in there. Favorite character in Skyrim? Oof, that's a big question, right? Can I say Alucel? From my Character Crusade Unbound Season 2 series? Is that cheating, taking one of my own characters? I gotta think about that. There's a lot of characters that I do really like. Let's see. I do enjoy Farkas. I know Farkas gets a lot of crap from a lot of people for being dumb, but the reason why I like him is that he is disarmingly wise, I would say.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura, the goddess of twilight.
He's not book smart, but I like the robes he's wearing. Kind of cool looking. He's not book smart. He's not particularly well spoken, but he does have a very practical way of looking at the world, and he is good at picking the advice to take and conveying that advice to others, I will say. So I have a soft spot for Farkas. Oh, Serana's great. I think on a mechanical level, as a follower, Serana is the most fleshed out, best follower in the vanilla game. Very impressive NPC, Serana is. You can tell they put a lot of work into her. She's one of my favorites for sure. Who else? I'm like going through every hold in my head right now and thinking of every single NPC that I can, trying to come up with characters that I love. I love Hod and his interactions with his kid. I can't remember his name right now. The one who's the prankster, and Hod who just really encourages it. One of my favorites as well. Gelibor, yeah, he's an impressive person for sure, with what he's gone through and the isolation that he's dealt with. Hey, I mean, we're all dealing with isolation these days in the face of, you know, the pandemic and stuff, but nothing like that guy has faced. And he didn't even have the internet. Kodlak's cool. I like Kodlak a lot. It's just sad that he doesn't get more of just more time in the sun in this game, just because the companion's questline is so short. I think Kodlak could have stood to be much more fleshed out by the developers, for sure. Just a lot going on there that is never surfaced. Could you imagine some of the stories that he has to tell of some of his adventures? Ooh, what's going on here? These look like a bunch of ice wolves? And there's Maik there too. But the wolves don't seem... Oh, there they go. They look like ice wolves, but they're pit wolves. Light coloring on the fur. Probably a leveled pit wolf, I'm guessing. Oh, and now we get a better look at Amelie and her chosen loadout here.
Don't worry about me. I don't need a break.
She looks great. I really think this is fitting for her. Although a Nord probably wouldn't be wearing so much fur with the frost resistance and all. Yeah, these are ice wolf pelts, so they must be leveled pit wolves. You know, I do... The wind, I think a lot of people feel that way. That Tullius is basically just a puppet, but... I don't know, something about the way he's voice acted, I tend to have a lot of respect for him. So in my games, he's usually quite the skilled tactician, wartime general, and politician. And you can just tell that he's at the end of his rope with everything, which is completely understandable with all this stuff. The thing is, if you identify more as a Nord, he seems kind of dismissive of the culture and the plight of the Stormcloaks. A little bit dismissive of their grievances. So he may rub you the wrong way right out of the belt, right off the bat. Balgroof I like, yeah. To me, Balgroof kind of strikes me as somebody who is boisterous yet toothless. He does handle his own in the Battle of Whiterun if you're playing on the Stormcloak side. And he definitely brings a lot of courage. He doesn't back down from a challenge, that's for sure. And he definitely has an unenviable task of trying to play neutral in the whole thing. I like that he does tend to see both sides of the story. He's very pragmatic in that regard. He's approachable, seeing as how he goes out to the tavern and stuff against Irileth's will. Yeah, my last save I would be crashing right about now. Actually, I would have been crashing all the way back at the Ritual Stone, or even Valtheim Towers, as soon as I point west. Done. Oh, we got a floating giant club over there. Canarthi, are you doing this?
Is the best smith in town. Of course, he's hardly the best looking.
Always the jokester, Canarthi is. Oh, Skyrim has a liking for Adrian, huh? Actually, I haven't taken Skyrim into Whiterun yet. I wonder if he's got any locational dialogue for that place. He is quite the womanizer, at least self-described anyway. Self-fancied. Hi, Russell. Glad you could join us. Just soaking up the scenery a little bit. Gotta love that mountain fog with majestic mountains. The feels. You know, these days, at this point in my life, one of my favorite things to do is just to load up Skyrim and just take in the scenery. Maybe that makes me boring or old or something, but it's the truth. Anywho, Let's get this sapling back to Danica before... Oh, Esbern. I love Esbern. Yes. Good call on Esbern. Misunderstood, but to be respected. Just the way he deals with the Greybeards, which are, you know, supposedly like his sworn enemies, if you take Arngir or Delphine's words for it. He handles that situation with such class, and he definitely handles the Greybeards with the respect and the reverence that they deserve. And I respect him for that. Danica, where you be? Is she outside? Did I miss her on the way in? I probably did, huh? Or she's hiding around one of these walls.
I can't bear it. Make it stop.
Yeah, we'll take some restoration training. Why not?
So sick. Can hardly stand.
Where is this priestess? Oh, there she is. Danica. I could not bring myself to cut into such a wonderful living thing, so I have a workaround. This is a sapling from the Elder Gleam itself.
But I can't run the temple without the support of people who are inspired by the Gildergrim. How can this little tree bring new worshippers?
O ye of little faith. Renewal is more important than maintenance. The pilgrims of Kinnereth will see this.
You're right, of course. It can be hard to hear the winds of Kinnereth when all you hear are the rabble in the temple. Death feeds new life. I'm sure that in time, this little sapling will grow into a new...
Emily's getting all yeety in the background there.
Thank you.
Oh, let's get some restoration training while we're at it. More gold than we know what to do with at this point. Restoration to 25. That'll unlock some things in that tree that I've been waiting on. Awesome.
No need to do that. I'm going, see? Leave. No guards, please.
Look, come back tomorrow, okay?
28, actually. Okay, cool. Alright, so at this point, I think we're going to take Kinnereth as our follower, or as our deity to worship. I actually like the thought of changing deities mid-playthrough. Even if you've become a devotee in a previous one, you're going to give up a lot of power to switch deities. But I think it's a good way to signal a change in your character, so to speak. It also helps you change up your gameplay a little bit. Helps you get into a new frame of mind, helps you connect yourself a little bit to the dynamic nature of a character in Skyrim. That definitely helps enable role-playing a little bit. So I think we're winding down on the stream here. I think this is pretty much a good place to end it. I want to take a second to catch back up on the chat here. We're all talking about our favorite characters. Oh, I do love Parthenax as well, that's for sure. That was quite a bit higher up in the chat there. I gotta go way far back. Lively chat, I like it. Balgroove is underrated. Tullius is voice acted by EXO and Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, he's done actually a lot of voicing and a lot of acting work. I think he does a great job. Yep. Delvin is good. I love Delvin's voice. It's very unique. Karliah is the same. Karliah is actually one of my favorite characters in the game. So, shout-outs to Karliah along with the others that I've mentioned. Losing Kodlak broke one of Loki's characters. Yeah.
Can hardly stand it.
Delphine and Eric the Slayer. I don't know how to feel about Delphine. I have a profound respect for her. In terms of her her strategy, her abilities her tactical abilities anyway. She gets a little close-minded about Parthenax, which I don't like. Eric the Slayer, it left kind of a bad taste in my mouth because when I used him in a vanilla playthrough as a follower, he was kind of cowardly. He would literally be like feared. He would have the fear status applied to him during a lot of fights, and he would just go hunker down in a corner somewhere, which was pretty immersive for a fledgling adventurer, but that was kind of before my roleplay days, and was kind of useless as a follower, as a meat shield. Esbern, also the Three-Eyed Raven, yeah, R.I.P. After 9 years of this game, we should be able to enjoy the fruits of our modding. Yes, absolutely. Simpa agrees. Isran has some great voicing. I pretty much any of the characters that have unique voicing are very well done. Florentis is also great. Teldrin has a great voice. Glover, another one, yeah. Let's see. I download lots of mods from the Nexus, the Order of Sapphire. Welcome, by the way. Yeah, ton. I think I'm running like 450 mods with like 211 active plugins on this profile. That's after bashing everything together. I think I'm at like 270 plugins before bashing or something like that. So yes, heavily modded. Gameplay, visuals, all the good stuff. And in my opinion, looks pretty gorgeous, if you ask me. If I can toot my own horn. Alright, so I think that about does it for this stream. I'm just going to plug other content creators in the community real quick here. We have, of course, Couch Warrior. We all talked about him earlier in the stream. Best Skyrim content on YouTube, or even Twitch, or anywhere for that matter, in my opinion. But also, it's just a fact. So if you don't share that opinion, you're pretty much wrong. Fight me. Yeah, the link to his channel is in the description there. Go ahead and check that out. The new Ascendance series is unbelievable. The drama. The Wind streams live on Twitch. I think she's redoing her load order right now. So she's been on a little bit of a hiatus recently, but I'm sure she'll get back into it at some point. A lot of fun to be had in her streams. So check her out when you get the chance. Magus80, he streams quite often. He's been on a bit of a hiatus to reworking his load order for a new character, a new druid character named Gareth, using Triumvirate and stuff. He's on some very interesting paths and everything, and I'm very curious to see how that character turns out. Doing some very interesting things as far as synergies between different mods and the new Triumvirate spell mod. So keep your eye on that. His link is down there too. Baofish has been in the chat. He is our modder extraordinaire. Helps a lot of us with a lot of different problems that we have. Actually enables Couch Warrior himself to do a lot of very unique things in his streams through modding. Baofish also does some gameplay streams and some modding streams. Oh, Magus is going to be streaming later tonight. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now that my wife isn't around to watch her reality TV, I'll be able to watch that on the big screen. Lay out on the couch and watch a Magus stream. So look out for that. Baofish's channel, he also does a lot of live streaming of actual mod authoring, and he does some kind of tutorials and stuff. Does some pre-streaming for Couch Warrior stuff, so check that stuff out. He also does have a Discord as well. I'll have to see if I can get the invitation link to paste into my channel, but ask any one of us with a blue monkey wrench on there, and we should be able to hook you up with that link. It's a great community. Couch Warrior also has a fantastic Discord community. You can probably find his link on his Character Crusade website, I believe. And Magus80 also does have his own community, Discord community out there, the Northern Kingdom, I believe it is. Feel free to post an invite link, Magus, if you want. I don't mind. All great communities to be a part of. A lot of overlap between all three, but all three also have their own unique personality, their own kind of I don't know, mood, theme, whatever you want to say. They're all worth being part of for sure. William McNee, who is also in the chat room, has a YouTube channel that you should go check out. He has a very long-running series with his elf character, Dana Fey, which, you know, I think the save file is kind of getting stretched to its limits for him, but so he might be coming to the end of that series, but I'm sure he'll start a new one at some point. So go check him out. Also, EJ Lowell. Her channel's below. She has an outstanding, absolutely great, epic series that she's been doing for the last, I don't know, 3 years or so, where she has a whole bunch of different characters that she voices. She does the music for, she writes the music for, she produces everything, she scripts everything out, she has great production values. An ongoing story that is shared between, I don't know, like 5 or 6 characters at this point that she all has different voices for and everything. It's great. I can't sing it enough praises. Go check it out. And then finally, last but not least, 57 Strudel, our meowing storyteller extraordinaire, has a fantastic, long-lived fanfic that she just recently topped off at, I don't know, did you get the word count of like 1 million words or something? Probably more than that. So if you are looking for Skyrim content, written, viewable, video, anything, there is just a treasure trove of Skyrim content out there for anybody who is starved for Skyrim content. If you're like any of us, never stopped loving this game, never got sick of it, there's lots to be consumed in the description below. Oh, quit your moaning, you're fine. Alright, so I think that does it for this stream. We'll pick up here next time. But till then, thank you for joining. It was another fun stream, another lively chat. Love seeing that. Looks like 3+ hours. Can't think of a better way to spend my time. Alright, so I think that does it for me. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time.